The Consumers Guarantees Act 1993 is a vital piece of information for small and medium-sized enterprises to implement into its business practice and policy. The Act applies to suppliers, any person who is in trade who owes a duty to consumers. In trade means any trade, business, industry profession, occupation, activity of commerce, or undertaking relating to the supply of goods or services. A consumer is a person who acquires from a supplier goods or services of a kind ordinarily acquired for personal, domestic, or household use or consumption. This means it is the type of good or services themselves which are important. Acquires is a word meaning to obtain by way of gift, purchase or exchange, and also means take on lease, hire, or hire purchase. Most goods acquired from SMEs will be covered by the Act. Businesses can also be defined as consumers. The Act will not apply to businesses if the goods or services are resupplied in trade, consumed in the course of production or manufacture, or used to repair other goods or fixtures on land. If SMEs are unaware of these obligations, they could face severe consequences.
Is it possible to contract out of the CGA, meaning that a business would no longer be required to meet the requirements of the Act? Contracting out can only be done for business-to-business transactions. Furthermore, both parties must be in trade, there must be an agreement that the Act does not apply, and the terms must be fair and reasonable. Suppliers can never contract out when selling to a consumer. Attempts to do so will breach the Fair Trading Act, and they can suffer severe penalties. Most SMEs do not have the capacity to deal with a fine this large, and should never even think about contracting out with consumers.
There are guarantees within the Act for both goods and services. There are 5 conditions of acceptable quality which are qualified by 4 other factors: fit for all purposes ordinarily supplied, acceptable in appearance and finish, free from minor defects, safe and durable. These are conditioned on the price, nature of the good, statements on the packaging or representations made by the supplier or manufacturer. The good is fit for purpose if it can do what the consumer needed it for. A good will comply with description if it has all the given specifications. The good received must match any samples or displays. The guarantee to have repair facilities and hold spare parts is owed by the manufacturer or importer if the manufacturer is not present in New Zealand. It is only required for a reasonable or set time. Express warranties are those stated or implied by the manufacturer. The quality of the service must be of the care and skill of a reasonable provider of the service. Fit for the purpose does not change. The time of completion and price can be settled in 3 ways: in the contract with an explicit date and price, a mechanism for determining, or outside the contract through the course of dealings between the parties.
The rights consumers have when they are unsatisfied with the goods and services. When consumers are unsatisfied, they receive either a replacement, repair, or a refund. They can claim against consensual loss provided the damage was reasonably foreseeable. If the consumer is aware of the defect, they cannot claim against the acceptable quality. If the item is second-hand, then they may pass its useful life and be too defective. Once you're known of the defect act, delay may mean you lose the remedy. A failure of substantial character applies when the good is significantly beyond repair, substantially unfit for its purpose and description.
What does the CGA mean for small and medium enterprises? The aforementioned remedies can be punishing. This is particularly relevant for SMEs because the impact can be very easily multiplied. Additionally, they don't have the resources to manage the impact as effectively as larger businesses can. Because of this, it is crucial they avoid breaching the Act. On a day-to-day level, they should ensure the goods and services provided comply with all guarantees. They should have standards in place for this. Employees should have a basic understanding of the Act. This is relevant particularly for retail businesses, as consumers have direct contact with employees. They should have more knowledgeable employees or legal contacts for more serious issues. If any customer complains, find out as much as you can before deciding what, if any, remedy to offer. Businesses need to act honestly, in a fair and reasonable manner, and respect the rights of consumers. The full Act can be found at this link.